Welcome back to our prospect rankings for the 2023 NFL draft class. We're going over running backs today. I know this one's going to be very popular because this is a very good class and there's a lot of guys to talk about, but I want to give you guys a watch list going into the college football season. I know it's a bit early, but hey, dude, it's never too early to start looking into the draft, and that's what we're here to do today. What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So remember, I'm going to give you a top 10, and then at the end of the video, I'm going to cover some guys who didn't make the list, but that I perhaps liked. So let's go ahead and get into this with number 10, DEVON, ACHANE, out of Texas A&M. He had actually quite the year last year for A&M, as he went for almost 900 yards rushing, over 250 yards receiving, and was a pretty good special teamer. He had 9 kick returns for 308 yards and a TD. He was a 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class, and he started getting opportunities late into his freshman season, and he was used much more this past year. And this dude just brings so much ability as a ball carrier and a returner. He's just so good in space, like lightning fast, probably the fastest guy in this running back class. He's just nimble between the tackles. He can explode through holes. Legit, he plants his foot, he could be gone, man. He does a good job of handling initial contact, as his yards after initial contact are over 4 yards a carry. So that's pretty good for 4 yards after contact, I should say. So that's pretty good. Where he's hurt, you probably notice the size. Yeah, he's small and he lacks power throughout that frame. Dude could probably put on more strength, but for the most part, I think he is what he is. And while he's much more willing to run by defenders than actually put moves on them, I don't really think he has many moves with the ball in his hands. I don't think there's much shimmy or shake to him. Kind of reminds me a bit of James Cook last year out of Georgia, where he just try to fly by the guy. As a pass blocker, not so much. He's more of a scat back. If you have him on the field, he's not blocking anybody. You're gonna have him as a receiver, but man, speed kills in the NFL, and that's why he's gonna make a lot of people's top 10, top 5 lists simply because of that. But for me, this is such a good class. I have him at 10. And then at number 9, you should, if you're familiar with the channel, you're familiar with the name, Kenny freaking McIntosh. You knew I loved this guy going to last season, and now that the Georgia backfield's not as congested, he should get his time to shine. He's a former 4-star recruit from the 2019 class, and he played a lot of special teams his freshman season. And he's been very involved in the rotation. And really, he's probably going to be one of the premier receiving options. He also offers some special teams upside as well. But now with James Cook, with Zamir White, they're both off in the NFL. We should see the workload increase, and that's great because I really love McIntosh as a prospect. Let's actually go through his stats last year, because he had 8 returns for 159 yards. But what he can do, like he had 58 carries last year, 27 forced missed tackles, 22 receptions, 12 forced missed tackles. Like, this dude, he's an incredibly fast athlete, which, I mean, I feel a lot better about that at 6'1", 210 than I do with ACHANE. But I love this cat's explosiveness, his shiftiness, his fluidity. It's not surprising that he's been used as a return man. He's just so dangerous out in space over the last 2 years. 62 forced missed tackles on only 137 touches. He never really gets too bouncy in the backfield, and he takes contact relatively well. And as a receiver, he's just going to be such a mismatch nightmare for linebackers and most safeties. Now, the question for a lot of people, I think the first one is, can he handle a workload? Can this guy be a bell cow? And I don't think that's really too important in today's NFL, as teams are really looking just for a backfield by committee. They're looking for a lot of quality guys just to fill that out. You don't necessarily need that one like absolute stud to carry the team. Not every team's going to be the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry, and we saw what happened when he went down. They were at a loss. Like, that offense really struggled. But to be fair, again, he it's not like can he handle the workload? He never really got the opportunity to, because that backfield was so deep. Now he's still developing his vision, and he can be a bit indecisive in the backfield, but he's fairly good. He has a very good contact balance, but I wouldn't say it's next level, but I would say it's good enough. That's why he's here at number 9. By the way, become a bro and subscribe. Leave this video a thumbs up if you enjoy the content. As always, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Let's have that nice, beautiful football discourse. And the popular thing now to do on YouTube, if you really support the channel, is to share the video. So go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead, get back to the nitty gritty. And then at number 8, I got Tank Bigsby out of Auburn. I think a lot of people might have this cat a little higher, but he's a former 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class. He saw significant snaps his freshman season, but was limited late in the season because of a hip injury. He played through all of 2021 as a starter and then decided to enter the transfer portal at the end of the season, but fairly quickly it was like, you know what, no, I'm coming back. I'm going to be here at Auburn. I'm going to be a Tiger. So the dude's a very decisive runner. He can explode through holes. He's tough to bring down and usually can tank multiple defenders. I love the burst off his plant foot, and he shows good elusiveness in the open field. He has good patience, shows good vision, and he'll never overstay his welcome in the backfield, and he'll make holes if he really needs to. He has great physicality, probably the best stiff arm in this class, and he's a better than you think as a pass catcher, but does have a lot of focus drops. So throw that in the con pile. Fumbles were a problem last year. Like, what the heck? 4 fumbles in 2021. I don't. That's just something to monitor this year, I would say, because he didn't have problems his freshman season. So just something to keep your eye on. He had a lot of instances where he was halted at or behind the line of scrimmage. There were 4 games where he averaged less than 2 yards after contact. He can be shifty in the open field, but there are times where he just tries to get too fancy and he trips himself up. It's like, dude, you got the physicality. Just barrel through some of these guys. And I wouldn't say he has breakaway speed either. Still a work in progress as a pass protector, and he could do a better job at picking up blitzes. But I still think the dude's a very good running back class, or a very good running back in a very good running back class. And then on to number 7, Deuce Vaughn out of Kansas State, dude. This is another guy. Though I would say he's a bit more versatile than ACHANE. Dude was a 3-star recruit in the 2020 class. His father is a scout for the Dallas Cowboys. So, hey, man, and his father, he actually scouts specifically the SEC type area, so he's not even looking at his son, unfortunately. But this cat's been the backbone of the Wildcats offense since stepping on foot on campus. I mean, he broke a few rushing and receiving records in 2021. The dude's just so good. He brings so much ability as a ball carrier and a return man. He is just nasty out in space. He's just good at the small back stuff. Initial burst, yes. Quick feet, yes. Cutter on dime, yes. Elusive, bet your pants. I don't know if that's the same, but bet your pants, yes. He is elusive despite being a smaller back. He has a filthy stiff arm and does a good job of manipulating contact. But the big red flag is obviously his size. But I mean, I don't know how much he's going to be able to do with his size. He kind of is what he is, and you don't expect him to ever be this like power guy ever. No power in his frame whatsoever. Or I think his frame, he's powerful within his frame, but like, again, he's limited to what he can be just based on the size. His after contact ability is a bit inconsistent, and occasionally he gets tripped up on first contact. But the guy was very good last season, where he had over 1,400 yards, almost over 500 yards receiving, over 1,400 yards running the football. But big fan of this cat. And then on to number 6, I got Blake Corum out of Michigan. When people last year were talking about stinking Hassan Haskins, I was talking about Blake Corum. I was like, dude, he's the better back, man. He is so good. He was a 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class. He didn't do much his freshman season, and then again, he was basically in the rotation. He was kind of the lightning to the thunder that was Hassan Haskins, but then he went down for a couple of games after injury, and Hassan Haskins just kind of got the majority of the workload after that. But I really do think Corum is the better back. I mean, at 5'8", 200 pounds, he has a nice low center of gravity and combines that with a really good stop and start ability, making him just so hard to put a hand on. Quick feet. He also boasts a strong lower body and is a determined runner in close quarters. Preferably, you want him out in space because of his speed and his lateral ability. And he ran, for the most part there at Michigan, the basic running back route tree, which kind of fine with. You're not going to really see too many college teams running this very wild route tree for the run back unless they're throwing them in the slot and such. But man, Corum, man, oh, this guy legit breakaway speed can, like, if he could get it to the second level, then watch out, he could blow the top off a defense. Now, he does need to work on his technique and pass protection, and putting on a little bit more weight and mass, I think would go a long way to that center of gravity, and we could see a big increase in the forced missed tackles. Adding more strength would be ideal, and probably doesn't have that ability or durability to be a 3-down back. But again, you don't really care too much about that in today's NFL. I'm a big fan of Blake Corum. And then we're going to Oklahoma because Eric Gray caught my attention, and I was like, dang, because I was a big Kennedy Brooks guy last year, and Eric Gray was just that nice breath of fresh air, like compared to like Kennedy Brooks, who was this like, he will shrug off contact, he is mean, watch out. And you got Eric Gray, who is just this, it looks like he's on the basketball court trying to cross up fools. He was a 4-star recruit out of the 2019 class. His father played at Tennessee State back in 1987, and he was actually Gray's running back coach back in high school. He enrolled at Tennessee and instantly made an impact. He had 101 carries for 539 yards, 4 touchdowns. And in 2020, he played in 9 games and made 5 starts. He was held out of the season finale because of an investigation into potential NCAA violations, and I think that had a lot to do with the potential transfer. Regardless, Gray decided to transfer after coach Jeremy Pruitt got fired, and then he transferred to Oklahoma and played in that rotation role with Kennedy Brooks. This dude is just such a smooth athlete. He has some of the sharpest cuts in this class. He can turn defenders around and just put them in a blender in open space. Like, the dude has solid bursts once he sees the hole, and he shows good balance on initial contact. He has very quick and nifty footwork. Shows good stop-start ability. Literally can stop on a dime, and I think I tweeted this out. I was like, this one replay I saw where he literally stopped on a dime, and it looked like he literally stopped, put a dime down, the defender went to go get it, and boom, moved back, just kept going. Literally stop on a dime. No, it looked like he stopped and dropped the dime, and then the defender got greedy. Like, the dude's good. He's been used as a receiver as well. 67 career receptions for 606 yards, 5 touchdowns, 17 forced missed tackles with that. When we're talking about the bad, inconsistent as a pass blocker, and sometimes just barely slows the blitz even down. Like, not even a good roadblock or a speed bump for blitzers. He had a fumbling issues with the larger volume back at Tennessee. Again, just something to monitor. He has the frame to pack on a little bit more mass and muscle, but I walked away from Eric Gray very impressed, which kind of says a lot in this running back class. On to number 4, I got Zach Evans out of Ole Miss, and my gosh, dude, let's get into what happened at TCU, because it was wild. He was a former 5-star recruit out of the 2020 class, so huge pedigree. His whole recruitment process was a wild journey, and basically it seemed like he had to settle for TCU because he waited so long to make a decision. And because again, it was kind of wild. It just didn't even seem like he wanted to go to TCU. It was just kind of like the only option left that were like, yeah, if you roll, you can play this year. I think he was so late to making his decision that a lot of places were like, yeah, no, we're probably gonna have to redshirt you or something. You're not gonna be able to play this season. But yeah, he saw some playing time his true freshman season, and then he played in 6 games in 2021 before being shut down with a toe injury. Decided to transfer from TCU to Ole Miss, which it was wild. Ole Miss wasn't even Ole Miss wasn't even really on his like recruitment radar either, it was kind of wild. But I think he had a cousin that played at Ole Miss, so that may have been the thing. Also, Ole Miss loses Jerrion Ely and Snoop Connor, so he probably maybe saw, oh, you got a lot of carries to give. Mind if I partake? But Evans, phenomenal athlete, man. He glides across the field, wins the sideline, and explodes out of his cuts. He shows tightrope like balance if defenders can't get a clean hit on him, and he does a great job of shifting his momentum. While he wasn't used much in the passing game there at TCU, he certainly does have the upside to do so, and I expect to see that in Lane Kiffin's offense. I bet you Lane Kiffin will be like, let's take advantage of that. Now, simply, we need a larger sample size of Evans, and having a full healthy season will go a long way. There will be questions about his durability, if he can handle a full workload, but that's, again, kind of irrelevant in today's NFL. I'm curious how physically Evans will look for the Rebels, and while he's capable of handling contact, there are times where he shies away from it. Now, will he be a guy that can get tough yards? That's kind of going to be the question. He was also limited in the passing game simply because TCU they don't have a good passing attack in general. Here, I got to correct something here. I had a typo. But yeah, no, I like Zach Evans. I think he could really emerge, and this is kind of a projection just based on this guy's a former 5-star recruit. We see what he can do as an athlete. Let's see if that all kind of comes together here at Ole Miss. And then at number 3, I got JAHMYR GIBBS out of now Alabama. He was a 4-star recruit in the 2020 class, and he showcased his ability as a ball carrier, receiver, and return man at Georgia Tech his freshman season. And then he had just this big breakout campaign last season for the Yellow Jackets, and then decided to transfer to Alabama, which I thought was huge. And it's going to be interesting because he's not your typical Alabama running back. Gibbs, he can impact the game at a moment's notice. Like, he has probably some of the quickest feet in this class, and he's such a fluid and explosive athlete who's just a home run threat waiting to happen. He has great stop-start ability and legit makes people miss. Now, I mean, this is the thing, man. Gibbs, like, he's so dangerous in the open space. Let's see if Alabama will use him in that regard. So, because let's keep in mind, man, Alabama, they typically like their runners, to be more between the tackles type of guys. Now, I'm not completely sold on Gibbs in terms of how he takes contact. His balance has been a bit inconsistent, and he'll slip on cuts. And I think part of that is, this kind of goes into my next point, where he's indecisive, and he gets a little too bouncy behind the line. And I think a lot of that had to do with what he was playing with at Georgia Tech. He was like, if I don't take it to the house now, then we're in trouble. Like, it's not like Georgia Tech was that good of a team last year. So I think he was really trying to play hero ball a lot when he got the ball. I don't really think physicality is his game, but that's something I guess we'll see here at Alabama. I'm excited. Like, just look at what this cat did. Is he had almost 750 yards rushing, almost 500 yards receiving, and over 600 yards as a kick returner. So, like, the dude is a playmaker. And then I got a first-round grade on my number 2 being Sean Tucker. Actually, someone guessed it in the comment section in my Mock the Mock video. Yeah, I absolutely love freaking Sean Tucker. Reminds me so much of like a Javonte Williams, the former North Carolina running back. So Tucker, he he became the starter fairly fast there for the Orangemen, being a 3-star recruit from the 2020 class. And then in 2021, he broke Syracuse's single season rushing record. He also runs track there at Syracuse. And it's kind of wild because you look at 5'10", 210 pounds, and you don't think he'd be particularly fast because this guy's got a lot of physicality to his game. But the dude's got nice burst, and he can be a home run threat. He's very decisive as a runner, and once he plants that foot, like you're kind of surprised with how explosive he is in the open field. He has quick feet and shows actual like shiftiness, like make you miss type of ability. He operates well in traffic. He can be a pinball off blocks. Like he takes contact exceptionally well. He has long field speed, and once he gets going, good luck stepping in front of that train because you're gonna get ran over. He's tough. He's durable. I think he has better ball skills than we think because just Syracuse doesn't use him in the passing game. So like if we're gonna talk about nitpicking, it's like runs the basic running back route tree. Also, he isn't too like I got questions about his ability laterally at the line, but again, being a very decisive runner, like he sees it, he goes. So again, kind of nitpicking here, but I freaking love Sean Tucker. I'm a big fan of this cat's game. And then on to everyone else's number one, like Bijan Robinson. He's number one. I was saying it last year. I remember watching the Oklahoma Texas game. I was just foaming at the mouth, loving me Bijan Robinson. The dude is good. There's a reason why he's got an NI. I think he's got NIL deal. I don't know if it's with Lambo, but now he drives a Lambo because he's actually kind of from my hometown, playing high school. So Robinson, 4-star recruit out of the 2020 class, was an honorable mention for Big 12 offensive freshman of the year in 2020. Then the following year, he was a semifinalist for the Maxwell Award, the Doak Walker Award, the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award. So like this dude is a very like he's what do they call it? He's got a lot of accolades. Like I think he's gonna win a lot of awards this year. This dude, I love this description of him. Robinson is like a bull who learned how to ballroom dance. Cause you hear that bull in a china shop when it comes to like a lot of defenders, like edge rushers, like. Robinson, no, he's literally a bull who can dance. He does some of his best work in close quarters. This dude has ideal size for the position. He just eats contact effortlessly. Literally, defenders look like mosquitoes when they try to hit him. He's hardly ever taken down by one defender. He'll pinball in close quarters. He possesses very quick feet, can cut on a dime. Like there's a I think it was like a 60-some yard run, maybe even like 50 against Oklahoma, where legit he's on one side of the field. He gets stuck in close quarters and kind of like just like literally like plants his foot, shimmy, gone, just takes it the other way for like an extra 30 yards. It's just wild, man. Freaking love him. Displays very good vision as a runner, and he can mix it up with a nasty sidestep or stiff arm. He's very tough as a pass catcher and hard to bring down with the ball in his hands. Who would have thought? Texas, they threw him occasionally at wide receiver and in the slot. So like he's just a playmaker. Now, there are going to be questions about his speed, at least his long field speed, as back in high school, he ran a 4.77 40, and by no means is he going to be a burner, but I think he's going to be around like the 4.57, 4.56 area, but yeah, he could do a better job as a pass protector. Again, these are all nitpicks. I don't know, the speed thing might be legit for some people. I'm not worried about it. I really am not. Because Bijan Robinson is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. I think last season he was like second in force. Second or third in force missed tackles. behind, oh my gosh, Kenneth Walker. As long as we're not included Malik Willis, because Malik Willis's missed tackle rate was kind of insane. But he had over 1,100 yards. He added almost 300 yards as a receiver. Like, the dude's good. Let's go ahead talk about some of the guys who didn't make the list. And I definitely want to mention him, this cat, because he's in the thumbnail. Zach Charbonnet. Would have been my third back if he went into the 2022 NFL draft class. I don't know why he didn't, but he's back here at UCLA, and I think it may have cost him. I got him with the same, I have the same round projection on him as this, late third rounder as I did in would have been the 2022 draft. It's just, again, this is a very good running back class, and there are a lot of good players, but he's basically he's a power back through and through. That's what he does. That's who he is. Yeah. There's Dwayne McBride out of UAB. He's kind of along the same lines. He's a power back. That's who he is. That's what he does. Tyon Evans, former Tennessee transfer, right? Former Tennessee transfer. He actually played JUCO. He played at Hutchinson Community College. Then he went to Tennessee. He left Tennessee because he wanted to be closer to his son. I get that, bro. I love my family too. But now he's at Louisville. That dude, he's got some impressive tape. Watch out. Last season, he was only slowed down by a what was his injury specifically? Evans was slowed down by, was it a toe? Ankle. It was an ankle injury. And he tried to play through it. That's the thing. It took him 2 games to where he was like, I can't do it. I can't play on this. That guy's got some grit. EJ Smith out of Stanford. Someone to watch out for. Not a big sample size, but his dad is Emmitt Smith, and he did look very impressive during spring practices. So now he gets the workload there, because you got guys like Austin Jones is gone. I forgot who the other running back was there at Stanford, but now he gets the workload there. So good for him. Chase Brown, a lot of people are talking about Illinois' Chase Brown. I like his skill set. I think overall it's probably going to end up being a day 3 skill set. There's Chris Rodriguez. Again, another power back in this class. Feel about him however you may. A lot of people are talking about Tavion Thomas out of Utah, and I get a lot of Tyler Goodson vibes from him. So that's why I'm probably a little lower on him than the consensus. The dude's was a very good college back, but I still have a ton of guys I need to go through out of this running back class. I haven't got to, or at least I haven't watched enough of the Memphis duo there, Rodriguez, Clark, and Brandon Thomas. I'm excited about that. There's unfortunately I gotta write an eval for my boy Lynn J. Dixon, who's now at West Virginia. Just couldn't never see the field there at Clemson. I liked him. Jordan Mims out of Fresno State. He kind of takes over for Ronnie Rivers, but he showed in the bowl game, wow, watch out. I'm kind of excited about him. Kendall Milton, for me, he's kind of whatevs. Some people like Travis Dye. I'm not in love with him. This is a cat that I literally, he's gonna be the first guy I get to after I get done, is Lou Nichols III out of Central Michigan. That's who I'm excited about. A nice big bodied back. I can't wait to watch a lot of him. Let me know some of the guys you like in the comment section below. Again, it's going to be a very good running back class. There's going to be a lot of people that really value a lot of these guys. I'm sure I'm going to see Muhammad Ibrahim in the comment section. He's 25, or he'll be 25 by the time he starts his NFL season, which I think that still makes him draftable. It just means he's a rookie year, rookie deal and done. But yeah, let me know some of the other guys. There's some good run backs in this class. But that's it for the video. Go ahead, do that YouTube thing. And as always, till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.